Welcome back again to the ongoing chapter, A Question of Trust by Victor Cannon. And today we're going to start from where I left to you yesterday. So let's begin. How foolish people are when they own valuable things, Horace thought. A magazine article had described this house, giving a plan of all the rooms and a picture of this room. The writer had even mentioned that the painting hid a safe. Now, talking about, he reached the drawing room and made all the preparations before he could actually start his work. So uh, he just gives a thought to his mind and just questions himself how foolish people get when they get valuable things. That they get very foolish. Why? Because they own valuable things, they own good things, rare things, expensive things, jewel and all. They have a big bungalow and all, and they start publishing their things, their wealth, and their houses and all, and they give all the details of everything, which is quite foolish. So he just gives a thought to himself. Now, a magazine had described everything about the room, about the house, and everything about it. So he already had the details about the room, and he did know where the safe hid. The writer gave every detail, mentioned even that the painting hid a safe. How foolish is this? That the magazine is giving out the detail and even the secret one in nature that the safe, that a painting hid a safe. That's quite awkward, that's quite foolish. But Horace found that the flowers were hindering him in his work. He buried his face in his handkerchief. Now, as he was about to begin his work, he found that the flowers were hindering, were creating disturbance, were coming in the way of his work. So he hid his face with a handkerchief. So what he did, the smell was coming to his nose, and that was creating trouble to him. It was tickling his nose, and that was a great cause of great concern for him because he was not able to concentrate on his work. So he buried his face in his handkerchief. That is the way we cover our face, the way we are using masks these days to cover our face, our mouth and nose. In the same way, he hid his face with his handkerchief. Then he heard a voice say from the doorway, "What is it? A cold or a hay fever?" Then suddenly, as he was as he was getting ready for the work, covered his face and getting ready for the work, then he got to hear, all of a sudden, a voice say, "What is it? A cold or hay fever?" Let's see what comes next. Before he could think, Horace said hay fever and found himself sneezing again. And before he could think and he could give a thought to his mind, he could think as who was that person asking him this question there in the house, in this empty house. He answered spontaneously, abruptly, that's a hay fever. And then sneezed, gave a sneeze. Excuse me. The voice went on. "You can cure it with a special treatment." You know, if you find out just what plant gives you the disease, so there is a very special cure and a very simple cure. Just figure out the plants that give you this trouble and stay away from such plants or keep them aside. This is a simple remedy. I think you'd better see a doctor if you are serious about your work. I heard you from the top of the house just now. And then she suggests him that if you are serious about your work, if you feel that you are very serious about the work that you're doing now, then you must see a doctor because because your work, the work for a thief, for a robber, uh, keeping everything quiet and doing work very secretly is the key to success. And here he made a lot of noise. So she says, I heard you from the top of the house. I could hear you from a distance, which is not good for you. It was a quiet, kindly voice, but one with firmness in it. The voice was quiet and calm and mild in nature, but it was assertive, it was firm. A woman was standing in the doorway and Sherry was rubbing against her. It was a lady, a woman, standing at the doorway, at the door, and Sherry the dog was rubbing against her. Dog was rubbing against her. So he got confused, he got puzzled. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. She walked to the fireplace and straightened the ornaments there. What she did next, she walked up to the fireplace. Before that, what said about her, she was dressed in red. Now she walked up to the fireplace and then straightened the ornaments, straightened the things that were placed there. Down, Sherry, she said. Anyone would think I'd been away for a month. She smiled at Horace and went on. However, I came back just in time, though I didn't expect to meet a burglar. Okay, so what she says, down Sherry, she instructs Sherry to be down, to sit down, and then continue to say anyone would get deceived and would imagine that I was away or that I had been away for a month, that the house was empty, there was no one in the house, and that she had been away for a month now because there was no activity there. She smiled at Horace and went on. However, she continued to say, however, I came back just in time. Just in time, I returned. Otherwise, the jewelry was in danger. That our wealth, our valuables were in danger. So I just returned in time. But I didn't expect to see a burglar here. But she continued to say that, well, I didn't expect to see a burglar here, a thief here. Horace had some hope because she seemed to be amused at meeting him. He might avoid trouble if he treated her the right way. He replied, I didn't expect to meet one of the family. Horace could sense her feeling, could read her mind, and he realized that she was amused. She was much surprised, not disturbed, but surprised at seeing an intruder. And then he realized that if he tried to be good with her, if he tried not to hurt her, then he could avoid any kind of trouble. He replied, I didn't expect to meet one of the family even. Even I didn't expect to see a family member in this house. She nodded. I see. What an inconvenience it is for you to meet me. What are you going to do? Now she replied that, well, it seems that it gives you a little trouble to see a family member in the house. Now she asked him, what are you going to do next? What's your next plan? Horace said, my first thought was to run. Instantly Horace replied, well, my only thought and my first thought is to run away from here. Of course, you could do that, but I would telephone the police and tell them all about you. They'd get you at once. And she then remarked that, well, you can always do that. But remember, in that case, you try to run away and I call the police. I will call the police and police will nab you and tell them all about you. They'll get you at once. I'll tell everything about you and then they will nab you. They will get you. This is all for now. Thank you.